I started my FPV journey just a few months ago with a tiny whoop and a dream. However, the problem is that dream takes me where this tiny whoop can't go. In today's video, we'll see if I can build my very first 3.5-inch FPV drone to take me to the places that I've always wanted to fly. The tops of the mountains. Okay. Before we actually get started on this 3.5-inch FPV build, we need parts to build with. So I took to the trusty Google and researched 3.5-inch analog drone parts for hours. And when I say hours, I mean hours. I can't give you any specific reason on why I chose the parts I did. I basically chose all these parts based off of vibes and guessing / assuming that they'll work together. So we get to see if I guessed right. Starting off, we need a frame for the drone. This is arguably one of the most important parts of the drone, because without it, we would have no way of holding any of the components. I chose the FlyFishRC Volador VX 3.5 frame. I saw really good reviews about this frame. After that, we have to choose a good stack. Now, a stack is a 2-layered drone component, which consists of an ESC on the bottom. This controls the power output to the motors, and the flight controller on the top, which calculates everything that the drone needs to do and is doing. I decided on the SpeedyBee F405 Mini since it also had really good reviews. And for the motors, I got the T-Hobby Pacer P1804 34,000 kV 5mm motors. Now, an FPV drone, or first person view drone, isn't really an FPV drone without a way of transmitting the video to your goggles. Sticking with the SpeedyBee theme for simplicity, I got the SpeedyBee TX800. And of course, a video transmitter is useless without video to transmit. So I kid you not, I went on Google again, searched best camera for analog 3.5-inch drone, and the first thing that came up was the RunCam Phoenix 2. So I got it. Aside from that, the last few significant things we need are the ELRS receiver and batteries to power it, because we won't get far without those. Old person joke for ya. I also got a buzzer and a GPS that I actually didn't end up putting on this build. We're gonna see later that I deeply regret that decision.
Oh no, I don't even know where that thing just went.
So we have all the drone parts, but honestly, I'm not really sure how they go together. So this is what I understand so far. Now first, we have the frame. In the middle of it sits the stack, or the flight controller and ESC that we talked about earlier. Branching off of each arm is a motor. Sitting in the rear of the drone is the VTX. Branching off of that is the antenna and the ELRS receiver. While the front of the drone has the camera. Yeah, I think we're on the right track here. Let's start building this thing. So this is everything we have for the frame. And do you see anything that's missing? I don't know how to put this together. There's no instructions here. We are in luck. I clicked a random link on Google and it contains a download for the frame instructions. Wow, so easy to follow. This is gonna be a breeze. What am I supposed to do with this? There's like 4 steps. Yeah, okay, 4 steps. I have a feeling this is going to be a time lapse. Yeah, screw that crap. I was just staring at that thing for so long and got nowhere. I found a video for it though. New time lapse, but I'm following a video now because those instructions did not make sense. All right, back to it. A bit of a shameless plug, alexsearle.dev is my website. If you're interested in building a drone similar to this, I include all of the prices for each component and the links to them on AliExpress on my website, all in one easy to access place. I don't get paid for it at all, but just wanted to provide it as a free resource for you. Links in the description. What do we think? That looks the same, right? That 2-minute video, that was probably a 40-minute time lapse. I'm not putting this top on yet because obviously there's a load of stuff we're gonna be putting in here. This is so sick, dude. It's a lot different than a tiny whoop, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure we wanna lay out the electronics now. I'm gonna lay out the electronics to where I think they need to be And I'm pretty sure that's next. I showered and I'm wearing a Saja Boys t-shirt now. Not everybody can be this cool. Time to put all the parts kind of around to see how they fit before I commit to soldering. I can't remember what time it was at this point, but I was so overly confident that I was gonna finish this entire build in one night. Oh yeah, right. This is extremely confusing. Let me show you what I'm up to. This is the flight controller and ESC. Whichever one's which, I think that's, I don't remember. Anywho, I don't know what I'm looking at. Game changer, everybody. Found the manual online. I started putting things together, and then the more I tried to put together, the more I realized there's a lot of stuff that needs to fit on here. Like this is the VTX. Here's the stack. It's supposed to face this way, like as the camera's right here and connects onto here. Here's the ELRS antenna with, I don't know where it went. That's supposed to go over here, but the antenna's only so long. I think I need to go fight the demons by myself. I am not gonna finish this tonight. Oh gosh. I'll see you when it's done.
The next day.
Okay, here's the deal. Dang it. This is the top of the frame. That's the drone. It goes on like this. This is the front. This is the back. Notice here, this is where I have the battery lead. And the thing about this frame, it has this little notch in the back where the battery lead just kind of clink, snaps in so nicely, and I really want to just run it in like that. The problem is this capacitor needs to be in here as well. By the time we have all of this in, there is not a lot of room. Honestly, rotating this around to the other side so then the battery leads come out this front side instead, not a terrible idea. I can't find a good online resource that has like the same parts as me on the same frame. So I've probably spent 3 hours trying to figure out how I want everything. So basically I need to sort out this back end, and then after that everything should fall into place.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
The capacitor fits now. I think I'm gonna have to redesign this thing though. This has like 2 little antenna spots and neither of them fit through. So I might make my own. Hey, I'm wearing different clothes again. My hair's wet. Went on a run. I think now's a good time to say, if you're enjoying these videos, hit that subscribe button. What are you waiting for? I'm trying to get to like a gazillion billion subscribers in the next few weeks. So if you hit the subscribe button, that will help me get there just a little bit closer. Time to turn this into a soldering station. Boom. Whoa, that was a crazy transition. We're starting with the battery lead. If we're gonna go up like this with the battery leads and then the capacitor kind of around it, that might be a bad idea. We'll see. I think I'm gonna put some extra silicone wire around this just for the sake of not blowing anything up. I actually need to lock in right now. I'm scared out of my mind. This is the first solder of this project and only my second time soldering. So a lot could go wrong. Hopefully it doesn't. We'll see. Not that bad. Holy I think I did it. Oh my gosh. Here's this solder joint right here. Then we see the connection for the capacitor. Okay, that's pretty bad, but I think I think it'll do the trick. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that. I just thought of something we can do. Let's prep all of the pads that we're going to be using. So motor pads, VTX, ELRS, camera pads. That'll be one more step done. So we're done with this one. Now we just need to prepare this one. This is the second part of the stack. This is the actual flight controller, I believe. And lucky us, we have this bad boy. This shows all of the connections. So ELRS receiver will go on these ones, camera will go to these ones, and then analog VTX are on these ones. My phone is currently propped up on the fan that I should be using while I solder. RIP. Speaking of not having a fan, it would be a real shame if these solder fumes for some reason stopped me from waking up in time for work the next day.
Another day again on my way to work. I can pay for this drone. I overslept. I'm actually late and I'm gonna blame it on the solder fumes. Those solder fumes really knocked me out, it seems. All right, to the drone in a few hours.
I'm goated. Let me show you. VTX goes right here. We have the O-rings on the bottom. And then what I was previously doing was putting this nut straight down on top of the VTX. The reason we're raised off of the carbon frame is because it's conductive and that will mess with the video system or fry the VTX or something. And then I realized that I'm using a screw that touches the carbon frame to go straight through the VTX, hitting a nut that's right on top of the VTX. That can't be good, right? Here's some solutions. Lots of people use these right on there, do the nut down on top of it, and that's fine. I hate the look of that though. And then the second issue I was thinking was, what if the side of this VTX is touching the inside of the screw? So here's the solution that I came up with. I took this small tubing. I've already done it on these back ones already. It slips right over the screw. And what this does is it protects the inside of the screw around the inside of the VTX. But what I'll do is screw down the nut on top. It's gonna squish that outside sheathing down so there's a barrier between the nut and the VTX. It's perfect. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna do that. Now that that's done, what we'll most likely do is slip this on and start soldering up the motor wires. But before we do that, let's prepare the motor wires and kind of heat shrink them and tape them onto these drone arms, and then we can route the motor wires how we think we want them. You can tell it didn't heat shrink all the way down. There's still a little bit of a gap, but since it was still hot, I just pressed it really hard. I mean, that should do the trick right there. I have this 3M tape that I'll put underneath it, and that'll hold it down. All right, I'm happy. I'm happy with this. This is cool. So I've mounted the motors at this point. Just for anybody who hasn't built a drone, I'm a professional, so I know these things, but the motors came with 2 different sizes of screws. You want to make sure you choose the screw that does not poke through and touch this under copper wire. That is bad. So I chose the shorter screw that still reaches the threads inside of the motor, but doesn't go all the way through. Just a little professional tip for you. I put the ESC on, and we are gonna solder the motor wires now. This is probably the part that I'm most scared of, and the reason for that is because we're gonna have to cut these wires kind of to fit this area. Worried I'm gonna mess it up. We're gonna loop around and kind of come up like that. So what I need to do is be very, 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 very sure that I am cutting it to the right size. Strip the wires, tin the wires, flux it up, and we're ready to go. And then do that ×4. I want to tell you a quick story during this time lapse. Having grown up in Utah, I saw lizards everywhere since it's a desert. When I was little, I wanted a gecko so badly that I just ended up catching one and keeping it. Looking back, he probably wasn't very thrilled about that decision, but I kept him in an old fish tank with paper towels for a floor and an empty Clorox wipe container as his house. Sad, yeah. At the time, I genuinely thought he had everything he needed, but after a while, I started realizing that no matter how many paper towels and empty Clorox wipe containers I put into that fish tank, it was never going to compare to that desert he came from. So one day, I finally felt bad, and I took him outside and let him go. Oh, time lapse over. We'll finish the story later. I just did so good. These last 3 solder joints you're gonna praise me for. Look how perfect those are. That is so good, oh my gosh. It better work. If one of these motors is broken out of the box, I'll be so sad. We are ready for this again. We have the camera cables, the ELRS cables, and then we have the VTX cables. All right, time lapse? I don't know. Soldering the rest of these components on wasn't too bad. We already had all the pads pre-tinned. It was just a matter of getting each wire onto the correct pad. So we just referenced the component diagram a lot. Do I look crazy right now? It's done. I'm done. All of the soldering is finished. Look at that. We have the VTX. From underneath, we have this braided around. Come into the ELRS. And then a little bit of a messy camera situation coming to the camera spot. It's literally time to set it up in Betaflight.
1 week later.
So it's been about a week actually since I whatever the last clip was. I've been having issues with the final touches on this drone. This right here is what I've been struggling with. Number one is it came with this DJI O4 antenna holder, which does not work for our use case because we only need one antenna for this analog unit. So I 3D printed this. I found the official FlyWoo STLs and I printed off this antenna holder. But here's the issue we ran into. This doesn't fit through there. So I actually ended up using Bamboo Labs like removal tool to chop out this part and make the hole bigger, which allows us to fit this SMA port through. And then in order to fit this cable, I rotated the VTX sideways and we actually weave through here, do a sharp bend right here, which I know in the comments, this sharp bend is probably not good. And then the ELRS antenna still fits down there on the bottom and the cables are not touching. So now, this is the most nerve-wracking part of this entire build so far. Plugging in the LiPo for the first time. Dun dun dun. Plug this side in first. Okay, oh gosh. And it's green. My heart is beating out of my chest right now. I'm so nervous. And now we plug this into the drone, and if it's still green, then it's okay. If it's red and it beeps, then there's something wrong. This is the moment of truth. Oh! Oh my gosh, this scared the crap out of me. We're green. It works. I don't know what to do with this information. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Should we try with just the battery, actually? I thought I heard it spark. We did it, guys. We did it. Oh my gosh. I didn't plug in the video antenna. Oh no. Oh no. That's very bad. I hope I didn't burn the VTX. Oh crap. I can't believe I just did that. Oh crap. Oh, if I just burned it up, I'm gonna be so sad. I potentially could have just ruined my VTX. So if we run into video problems, I'm very disappointed that I was naive enough to do that. Let's get it plugged into Betaflight. Let's check the calibration. It knows where it's at. Woo! Is there a firmware section? What is this? Ooh. This looks different than a tinywhoop one. I don't know how to flash firmware. I've never done this before. All right, let's go to motors. Let's reorder them. Let's make sure we have them in the right order. It is the back right, front right, back left, front left. Save. We'll make sure the motor directions are correct. I checked motor direction on Betaflight, but I'm also checking on the SpeedyBee app. All right, we are using the SpeedyBee app. Holy, every time that beeps, it scares the crap out of me. Gosh, this thing is so much scarier than a tinywhoop. All right, great. I just confirmed that all the motors are going the right direction. ELRS configurator.
Hey, yo!
What is this? I don't know if I want to call this one of the worst experiences of my life or not, but this takes a long time. Like, this isn't easy. For the first time learning how to do all of this, this takes a second to do. I'm gonna be real here. Once I finish this, it'll be easier for the next time, because there's bound to be a next time. I'll build another. I found an Oscar Liang article that explains setting up the receiver and ELRS, serial receiver protocol, CRSF, channel map, ATER1234. We have that. Set up at least 2 switches on the radio for arming and beeper. Let's set up arm. To be auxiliary 5. So the radio's not connecting, it seems. I don't know what I just did. I just spent like 30 minutes doing something. Works now. Okay, I've been screwing with this stupid VTX. I literally took it apart because I actually thought I burned it up from earlier. And I set it to race band, channel 1, 5658 is the frequency, and it wasn't showing up. And that's what these goggles were connected to. I've probably spent an hour on this. I was like, I'm just gonna do the auto search thing and see if it's on any channel. Yes, we're on channel 7,584. Everything works. That's everything. Everything works on this. Just need to put it back together and then wait for the new antenna to come, and we're good to fly. The last piece that I was waiting for had just been delivered when I got home from work today, so I'm out here ready for the first flight. I have spent 2 weeks making this thing. I started exactly 2 weeks ago, and I would argue if we include research, I'm probably pushing 15 to 20 hours on this thing right here. This thing has taken forever. I finished the calibration today. It took ages to figure out how to do it. So this is gonna be the maiden test flight. I found this open little area right here earlier today, and there happens to be nobody here. I think we just need to send it. We'll see if it flies. All right, if I can be honest right now, I'm terrified of this thing taking off one of my fingers. First power on with the intention of actually flying. All right, ready? We got it! Oh my gosh! This is awesome! This thing drifts like crazy. Oh my gosh. That was the first try. I got everything right. Oh my gosh. This thing is gonna be perfect for what I need it to do.
Remember my pet lizard from earlier? His name was Bandit, and releasing him back into the wild to thrive where he truly belongs reminds me of my own FPV journey growing from months of flying tinywhoops into now. My first 3.5-inch build. This build has always represented taking that next step. And finally, flying the places that made me fall in love with FPV in the first place. So, for me, it felt right to name this drone after that gecko from when I was growing up. This 3.5-inch drone is named Bandit.
Where's my drone? Oh no, I don't even know where that thing just went.